Hi, Jordan. Your reaction to getting the ball for Game 1 and really setting the tone for the Rangers in this series?
I'm excited for the opportunity. I mean, it's a big game, big series, and I'm excited to go out there and kind of do my best for the team.
Right here in the middle.
Hey, Jordan, how have you guys been able to ride the ups and downs of the past month, whether it's being swept by Houston, then going to Toronto and sweeping them, and then the 2 different series against Seattle that went way differently, and then rebounding when you go to Tampa? It just seems like quite a roller coaster this past month.
Yeah, I think baseball in general is a roller coaster over 162 games. So you kind of just got to roll with the punches and stay as even-keeled as you can.
And we'll go to Jeff and then Kennedy.
What has changed for you since the trade and getting back together with Mike Maddox?
Not really anything. I got with Mike last year, and we had a lot of success for my 10 starts with St. Louis, and I tried to carry it over into this year, and obviously just having Mike around and kind of seeing how my stuff is moving has been a help.
We'll go to Kennedy right here.
In Baltimore, you said you weren't really feeling your best on that start. What were you feeling there, and what have can you take into this start against Houston?
Just kind of everything was a little unsynced up, so just gotta find my timing and execute more pitches.
The third row in the middle here. We'll get you the mic. Other side. Your other side, sir.
How was it handling the crowd in Baltimore, how loud they were, and how do you handle that when you go out there tomorrow, here, with the roof closed, how loud it'll be?
Don't think there's really any way to prepare for a playoff game. You just got to go out there and compete. We've pitched in a lot of sold-out crowds, and I know Seattle was rocking when we were playing there at the end of the year. So really just kind of stay as composed as you can and trying to execute as many pitches as you can. Compete.
Kennedy in the second row.
I know you haven't been here that long, but how big of an impact has Jonah Heim had on you personally and then the pitching staff as a whole down the stretch here?
He's awesome. I mean, to have a catcher that plays every day like he does, you really grow comfortable throwing to him. He has an idea of what you want to throw, kind of how you like to work, and how fast you like to work. He's just a really talented player.
Third row.
What do you make of facing a Houston lineup that hits lefties pretty well, especially lefty on lefty? It's not the usual advantage. It may always be. How do you kind of prepare for that and look at that?
Yeah, I mean, you got to bring your A game. Jordan and Tucker are really good players, and up and down that lineup, everybody's pretty talented. So you really just got to attack and execute as many as you can.
And right up front here.
Hey, just following up on Kennedy's question about Jonah Heim, we have obviously seen tremendous offensive contributions from him and rapport between you guys, but defensively, what can you say about him and his ability to maybe flip a game?
I mean, he throws guys out at second all the time. He's got a really good pop time, strong arm, and he's really good defensively behind the plate. So really just kind of all around really good catcher.
Third row on your right here.
Jordan, you mentioned Mike Maddox. What do you think it is about his coaching style that has made him successful at doing this for a long time now?
I think he's just got a ton of experience. He's probably worked with every type of pitcher there is. So if something's ever out of whack, he's got a different way to tell you every day. If it doesn't stick, he'll try another way of saying it. And he's kind of just always there for his pitchers. He wants the best for us, and he's always there to help. So he's just a really good coach.
The fourth row in the left center aisle.
You faced the Astros in June when you were with St. Louis. How much were you able to take away from a start that was 4 months ago?
Probably not much. I mean, I don't think Jordan was in the lineup. I can't remember who else was hurt, but it obviously wasn't an easy game. There's no such thing as an easy game against Houston, but definitely just going to try and, if I can recreate that, that'd be great.
Go to the last row on your left, Jordan.
Jordan, since coming over from St. Louis, can you give me one word that describes this group that you're with right now?
Compete. I think we've got a ton of competitors on this team that are 1 through 9. Every pitcher we have just ready to take the ball or get that big AB. And if the guy in front of them doesn't get it done, then the next guy is going to do his best to get it done.
Anything else for Jordan? We'll finish up over here on your left.
Something Mike Maddox said yesterday about you this season is, you know, you're mixing your pitches better, using all the tools in your toolbox, and I think you talked about that after your start in Tampa. I guess what has led to you learning how to use all your pitches better in the way you want to and how to mix them like that?
I think it's just kind of having confidence in every pitch, knowing if I get it to a spot, then it's going to be okay, and I've got a lot of different spots I can kind of hit to kind of make the hitter's job a little harder.
Can you take us through just that road for you guys, how hard just to get to this point? Because at one point in time it looked good, then it got bumpy, then it got good again.
Yeah, I think that's the perfect way to say it. We led the division for 75-80% of the year, and we came in that last month. We had a few tough stretches and lost the grasp of it. But hindsight, I think it worked out really good for us. We didn't win the division, but we got to roll into Tampa, take out a 100-win team, play Baltimore, take out another 100-win team, and I think we played some of our best baseball over the last 2 weeks.
Other questions for Mitch? Kevin, we'll get you the microphone right here.
Mitch, you like hitting third?
I'm growing on it a little bit, or it's growing on me. Yeah.
Have you done it much in your career?
I want to say yes. I've hit second, third. Well, I've hit leadoff, second, third, fourth. I've hit probably every spot in the lineup throughout my career. And I think hitting third here is a little unique because I'm hitting behind Corey Seager. So it's an interesting opportunity.
Yeah.
Other questions for Mitch? Right up front, we'll get you the mic.
We know how this is going to be for the fans, but for the players, do you guys allow emotions to, come into this rivalry, or is it just ALCS? You have to block those out.
A little bit of both. You could be playing any opponent in the ALCS, and it's going to get emotional. I think we're familiar with this team. We've played each other a lot. They know us, and we know them, is kind of the best way to say it. For me personally, I think I play my best game when I block out all that stuff, and I treat it as a regular season game. I don't like to let the situation get too big or overwhelm me with noise or emotion or situations or whatever. And I think having played in the playoffs before, that's where I've learned, that's how I perform my best. And it's going to be interesting with some of these younger guys who have never been in the playoffs before, how they approach it. They approach it with more emotion, less emotion, hopefully play the same game, and just let the chips fall where they may.
Go to Evan on the second row on your left. Your right.
I'm fixated on the phrase interesting opportunity. Can you elaborate a little bit, like how batting behind Corey impacts your ability to do what you can do best?
Well, I want to say it works in a few ways. It's harder for teams to bring in lefties because I've historically hit lefties pretty well. Corey is an aggressive swinger, but when he's not aggressive, he can work walks. And we saw that in Baltimore, and exactly what happened in that game was, I think that was perfect case scenario, right? Walk to get the bases loaded, I hit a grand slam, and we end up winning the game. So it's good because Corey has a great on-base percentage, Marcus has a great on-base percentage. I think that's kind of how we build our lineup, right? We want to be able to have guys who get on base on the top, guys who can drive them in the middle, and then do it over again. So it's a nice thing to have.
Go to Hazel up front on your right.
What have you learned about Bruce Bochy and how he manages and communicates with his players?
He has a very clear message. If he ever needs to say anything, which he doesn't usually say much to us. I can't say how much I appreciate his calmness. He doesn't seem overworked or worked up very often. He's very calm in his decision making, and it's not always analytically based. Sometimes he makes gut decisions, and I think that art has been lost a little bit in today's game. Not for everybody, but he goes off his gut sometimes too, which is refreshing. So I appreciate that about Boch.
Kennedy in the second row on your left.
Mitch, this recent stretch you've been on since coming off the IL earlier in the year, is this, the best you felt since when? Can you point to a point in your career in which you felt this good at the plate?
I want to say this is the best I've felt. I've had some good years in the past, 19 obviously being the highlighted one, but if you were to go strictly off batted ball profile and the way I performed, 21 has been still my best year. But this year compares pretty closely. Driving the ball pretty well, working counts. Probably my highest walk percentage year, lowest strikeout percentage year. But I think it's just kind of the more you play in your career, the more you become in tune with the hitter that you are, and you're able to come into your own and feel a little bit more comfortable with the day-to-day process of it.